Daddy's addiction. The hand that holds the reins doesn't pull the load. Aaron, one of my roofers, one time I was getting after the roofers, and he says, "Hey, the hand that holds the reins doesn't pull the load." I said, "What are you talking about?" Like on a wagon or on a horse, you might hold the reins, but you don't pull the load. Okay? So when we as parents, or when you as parents, or when we as parents or coaches or persons of control try to force and push athletes, children, etc., into areas that they don't want to be and they don't want to go to, and we force them because of our love for the adrenaline rush, it causes some big problems. It causes animosity from the children or the wrestlers or whoever. Whenever you take someone's free agency away from them, their ability to choose for themselves and do what they want for themselves, you risk relationship uh, problems. And the way I'm going to talk about this a little bit is, I'm going to introduce it this way, is that my dad grew up in a poor neighborhood, broke his hands, got knocked out, fought all the time. That's what he told us. He never got to play sports, even though he participated on the teams, but he wasn't above Harrison. He wasn't up with the rich kids above Harrison High School. He got to play like one or two or three football plays his entire high school career because he wasn't above Harrison. He didn't live up with the rich boys. And he lived down on Wall Avenue where the poor kids lived. Well, anyway, of course, that was his addiction. He loved sports. He loved sports. He loved football. He played college football. He was a starter for the Weber State team and for his Army team. He was really good. He was a very good athlete. He was a good runner. He could throw the ball really far, but he couldn't make the teams because he wasn't as rich as the other kids. That's what he thought. Now, I don't know the whole story, but whatever. He totally loved athletics. So we moved to North Ogden. He wants me to participate on all the teams now. Now, I wanted to play football, and he said, "Okay, whatever, you play football." But once I started playing, there was no coming back, man. He wanted me to play. He loved it. He got addicted to it. He was very addicted to sports, would watch sports all the time. In fact, I rarely watched sporting events on TV because my dad spent a lot of wasted time watching sports when he could have been doing something like hunting or going someplace with me or the family, whatever. Anyway, I resent that. But here's the point. When a father loves the sport more than his son or his daughter or the mother loves the sport more than the daughter or the son do, they might hold the reins, but they're not pulling the load. So you better make sure that the kid wants to do the sport that he's in, or wants to do the activity that he's participating in, and you're not just forcing him because he committed to it. You know what I mean? You might have committed to it for him. But I think there's an adrenaline rush that parents get when they see their kids succeed or do something well. It could be grades. It could be, my kid gets straight A's. Well, my kids growing up, their mom pushed them to get straight A's. And I just pushed them, hey, do the best you can. You get B's or C's, I'm okay with that. If you can get A's, great, get A's. I don't care what grade you get. First of all, I think school's important, but school's not the most important thing in life. But the whole idea is sometimes as parents, coaches, people in leadership, our pride is at stake when our kids or our athletes do well or they don't do well. And sometimes what happens is a father gets, and I've been through this. I know what it feels like to force my kid to wrestle when he was younger, and he probably didn't want to wrestle. I know he didn't want to wrestle. I forced my kids sometimes in sports a little bit, but probably less than my dad did. But the important point is that fathers and mothers, people in powerful positions, should not force their kids to play the sport they want them to play or participate in the sport they want them to participate in. Sometimes children and athletes are held captive by coaches and parents who have control over them, who make their life hell if they don't participate in a particular sport. I see it all the time I help coach, and I see it all the time. Parents that are out of control and have no clue that their kids want they want to break, they want to get away, they want to escape but they can't because the parent, they live at the house, they're abused, they're controlled by a parent who's more excited about them placing in their athletic activity at a high level, and so therefore they can't understand why their kids just want to be kids and just go play a sport instead of compete heavily at a sport. So daddy's addiction is the dad or the parent or the coach may have a problem, and it's not the athlete or the person's problem. Kids and athletes should participate in things that they have a passion about, and the parents and the coaches need to back off and be supportive to the level that the kid or the athlete needs and not to the level that they think they should perform at. So just because we set expectations for our kids doesn't mean they're going to meet every expectation. And when they don't, who cares? It's all about, in my opinion, it's all about loving them, being their friend, and helping them improve in the areas that they want to improve in and they want to get better at. Whether it's school, whether it's sports, whether it's music, I don't care what it is. Find a way to help them succeed at what they want to succeed at.